so cold in here. It's so cold. What is up, guys? Boogie2988 here, coming at you live through the power of reckless spending. And we're back with this. The Sad Life of Booger. Boogie2988. I keep calling him Booger. Let us... Shit. Hold up.
Meanwhile...
Okay. Ready? Is this where I left off? Alright.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Thanks for asking me, Boogie.
Are you ready to step back into 1988? You ready to go back to my childhood? Because that's what's behind this door. You know what? Do you want to know what this represents to me?
What does this represent?
This is everything that was good about my childhood. And when I walk back in here, it's like going back in time, except things aren't completely shitty.
That gives you a little bit of insight into his life, or at least his mindset, right? Maintain, stagnate, go back to the way it was, stay the same, don't improve. I mean, could have just been he didn't handle the changes of life, the inevitable changes, the sequence of life that plays out. I think that's understandable.
This is the classic. I mean, I even have a Pac-Man tattoo. This is the game I most identify with because it's about a little round guy running through a maze, trying to figure shit out, eating everything in sight, and getting chased by ghosts of his past. So I'm basically Pac-Man.
I imagine you visualizing it these ways makes it kind of easier to deal. It's sort of like a passive confrontation of your reality, right? Simply just through the verbal acknowledgement that somehow... How many other people have a documentary made about? Like, that's what makes it a little bit harder to, you know, to empathize. It's like all sorts of people are in this very situation, and they succumb to these types of fault, these failings, these happenstances. Yet they don't have, you know, access to even nearly a fraction of what this person has. Like, he's in a position where he's able to more excessively confront these problems, and he just... Yeah, Boogie2988 coming at you live!
I know, it's simple fun. And, I mean, look at the guy. He looks like me. I might have sprained it or broken it or something. I was walking to the bathroom in there, and there was a loud snap sound, and things kind of shifted in one direction, and now my foot is swelling into my shoe, and it hurts really badly. It's the fun part about being old and fat.
This is mainly a fat thing. I've seen 70-year-olds who could do pull-ups. 70-year-olds who are ripped and jacked. I hate that excuse, dude. Like, modern technology has allowed us to expand our lives to, what, like 70, 80 years old? And throughout all of that, like, the only thing that'll prevent you from maintaining your physique is yourself. Unless you succumb to a disease or some ailment or something. But if you eat garbage, do nothing all the time, don't take care of yourself, neglect your health, you're stuck in denial, like, this shit compounds, and then it gets worse. Your body, it gets older over time, and if you just have more gunk dangling off of it, it's gonna accelerate that, essentially, or it's gonna make it worse. You think, right? If you weigh more, it puts more weight on your knees, yet, you get older, and the more you use stuff, it breaks down, but things break down more if there's more pressure on it, there's more stress. You gotta understand, you get it. Why am I talking? Boogie's never gonna watch this.
You never know. You don't know if you'll wake up tomorrow. You don't know if today is that stroke or heart attack you've been waiting on, or if it's going to be a healthy day and you feel real good for a change. You never know.
it's like he feels like he's entirely at the mercy of circumstance. Which, yes, life is a never-ending sequence of arbitrary happenstance, but it's like you still have mild trajectory over the outcome of things through personal input. He's just... Is that his cope? Shit, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I've heard that a bunch. And yeah.
So I don't know. It could fucking be today. Do I think I'll make 50? Yeah, probably. That's only 2 years away. Do I think I'll make 60, which is 12 years away? Probably not.
You try keto. It worked for me. You gotta try something, Boogie Nights. You gotta try something.
Here's everything that's wrong with Boogie. Low testosterone, testicular hypogonadism, sleep apnea, swelling due to blockages of lymphatic flow, seborrheic eczema, chronic back pain, protein in urine. That's from kidney damage, folks.
That is everything keeping me alive. We have losartan, tramadol, bupropion, sertraline.
Mike, was that you? He shows you the list of medication. Like, why were you startled just then? Was it boogie time?
Did I deal with back pain? I deal with nightmares. I'm always tired. I don't know the last time I did sleep. Otherwise, if I don't wear this machine at night, when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm actually drowning in my own fat.
Yep, sleep apnea. It's exacerbated the more you weigh, so lose the weight!
High blood pressure, history of gastric bypass, intestinal malabsorption, vitamin D sufficiency.
More? I get it. You're just, all right.
Because like most gamers, I hate the sun. Morbid obesity, major depressive disorder, major anxiety disorder, history of diabetes mellitus, blood pooling in veins, varicose veins of the legs with complications, degeneration of lumbar or lumbosacral intervertebral disc. That means my back don't work so good. History of basal cell carcinoma, that's cancer. And of course I can't breathe so good, so asthma and allergies as well.
I had hemorrhoids once.
So, it's a waiting game now, and it's just about making the best of it.
No! You've made it a wait. You've already been waiting. And this is what happened because you just didn't do anything with it.
Just enjoy what you got when you got it.
Or improve every day so you can get to a place where you have more things that you enjoy, so you can enjoy those things at a higher capacity than the shit you had before. Like you're in a big ass suburban house that you bought from the amount of money that you made off of your personal business endeavors online, and you're telling me you can't do anything? You already did something. Just do more. Just change things incrementally. You had the foundation, an excellent, solid, firm foundation that you could spring off of, and you just McDonald's.
Sometimes that's a chicken quesadilla.
I don't want to watch you eat, dude. Like, sad eat. This is an effective documentary. It's eliciting, repulsion? With an air of pity. But more repulsion. I'd say it's like an 85-15 split.
I wanted to make like a documentary that was generally entertaining. You realize, wait a second, everything he says is depressing. Everything he says is like the saddest shit I've ever heard.
Mike! Don't give up now! We're only not even halfway through, Mike! You got it, Mike. The show must go on. You don't let the depression sink in. You.
Making the best of it.
This is the first documentary I'm doing. I can't put out a documentary that's this guy the whole time because I don't want my brand new channel to be known as making documentaries about the most depressing people that exist. It's just like, what the f*** happened to this guy? What the f*** happened to Boogie?
Dude, you're asking the right questions. Yeah. What happened? Yeah. Like I said before, like, this doesn't just, you know, I mean, I said before, you know, it's more of a normal thing, right? Because of just how wacko doo-doo humanity is, right? So it's kind of expected for this to be the outcome of a lifetime, right? We're a mindless animalistic species. All of us. We're all animals. We're no different from... We just have a further degree of sentience that allows us to formulate sentences, right? And move our thumbs and stuff and grab things and build stuff, right? Like, we want to believe that we're somehow separate from our nature. It's all about emotion, right? You just feel things. And this is how Boogie built his life in a way so that he can feel this particular thing that he believes in, right? Instead of what could be. Now, it's a whole other question as to how that turned out, right? Did you not meet the right people, have the right conversations, did you not go through the right things? The wrong things happen at the wrong times, and did he just, like, not react accordingly to that? Did the means of which he's, I guess, developed in his life to react to that, right? Has that really ever been acknowledged or refined on his behalf, right? Why do I make the decisions I make? I mean, it's probably a rhetorical question, right? The answer is no, right? Because nearly 50, right? And it's been the same thing every single time. Don't be like this. Improve every day. Have something to work towards that makes you feel good, right? In a way that's not self-destructive like this. This is an example of that being facilitated, that self-destruction, right? I mean, had he not succeeded in his career, it probably would have been the same thing. We just wouldn't have seen a nice documentary about it. I don't know, man. What the fuck happened?
Well, he's losing what made people originally like him. It could be as simple as just that positive attitude.
Why not use your only life to make the lives around you better? Fuck you, it's none of your fucking business. It's my body, it's my choice, eat shit.
And over time, in the content, we see this shift where he starts to become more interested in money.
I just like making content. I just like talking to a camera. I just like doing cool stuff.
I just want ad revenue. I just want YouTube to pay me a fair amount. It's all I've ever wanted, right?
And his concerns about money.
If I could teach you anything, it's to hold on to the money you get.
Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?
The answer is yes. Give me some money.
And more interested in complaining.
I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more grateful that people want to come.
Thank you.
I'm a walking embarrassment, dude.
We do. Look at me. I'm disgusting. Better, I'm a piece of shit.
I will never function the way you function. It's not possible.
Huh. What a contrast, and in many different ways. Was it beforehand he was just playing a character? Huh. Ha!
I mean, that just leaves a sour taste in people's mouths.
I think my window's closing. And if it's not closing already, it's already closed.
Right, so if there was money to be made in making people feel depressed.
Boogie nights. Starring Marky Mark. Mark Bark. Busy Mark. Throwing bricks at the Vietnamese.
There are plenty of different content creators that have various mental illnesses all over social media. And some just say, it is what it is, and this is what I'm going to do. Boogie tends to be really obsessed with this idea that it's favorable to have people feel sorry for you, and that kind of victim mentality where you can get further in life if people have compassion on you regardless of the reason they're doing it.
I mean, that's not an entirely illegitimate purview. Like, people can go through their entire lives living that way and still not really be faced with the brunt of their... I mean, everyone goes through stuff. Everyone has to deal with stuff. But let's be honest, man, right? You don't need to really know what you're doing to be able to, you know, sail through life, to be able to get through it, right? Boogie, he's suffering now, right? As a result of a lot of the things that he's done. But he still got, you know, to a place in which he's able to live his life somewhat normally, right? Where was I going with this?
I look awful. If I look like I've been through hell over the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah, because that mentality sometimes is rewarded. If you just play on the right notes, you can get people to pity you, to empathize with you. And it's a valid, it works sometimes. He probably came across that idea somewhere, or saw it reflected somewhere or something. It could be something as small as like a, I don't know, like a song or something, or like a lyric. It's like, oh, that gave me perspective. That made me feel a certain emotion at a certain time in a certain way, right? Like, personally speaking, took a single quote from a BoJack episode, right? There was an episode where this intern, later on in one of the, I don't know, later seasons, worked for the Pink Cat lady, right? It was the intern at their production company, or their management agency, and she comes across you talking about the work and everything, and he's just like, I had some stuff to do, but I don't know, I have to really feel like, you know, the energy, I have to feel the want to work and to make more. It's just not creatively. It's like something as small as that for me personally. I saw that, I was like, is that how I sound? Because before then, at least years and years back, my writing wasn't nearly as procedural, right, when it came to creating things. But then afterwards, all it took was a single quote at this certain time and place from an animated TV show about a depressed narcissistic horse. Like, that is all it took for me to be like, maybe I should start a writing schedule. And then I did that, and then I noticed within a few months, literally doing it every single day, meeting a certain, you know, writing criteria, my writing quality exponentially improved. So it's the time, I could, you know, maybe he was playing a game or something, and something happened somewhere that made him feel a certain way about this type of mindset, and he's just like, you know, I could go for that. That could work for me. Maybe it was in retaliation to, like, his failings seeping through the cracks, right? Him constantly making more and more mistakes that were being reflected back to him by his community. Maybe, I don't know. When I frame it this way, it almost makes it seem like it's voluntary, which, I don't know. I mean, he's self-aware enough to be able to point out what his problems are. Does that mean he's self-aware enough to point out that it's his fault for not really acting upon those, especially in his position? I want, Ask the question, Mike Klum.
Like Jerry, I ruined my own career. Maybe it was the imposter syndrome. Maybe it's because
It's been a method of...
See, it worked. Look, what do you think I'm talking about? We love you, Boogie. Don't be so hard on you. Taco Truck TV. That's an endorsement from Taco Truck TV. Like, pity right there. Something as small as a few words on a bright little illuminated screen could change his mindset, could reinforce something, could deter. It's all these. Life's insane. Nothing matters. Make money, because that's what humans believe matters, and that's the world we built. And right, we've rewarded people like this who've learned to traverse the system that humans have built. And yes, it's a system that's built to be exploited. Come on! If you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars being this type of person, making this type of content, like, what does that say about the system? What does that say about monetary acquisition? Does it really have anything to do with this, or your abilities, your skills, really? No, it really doesn't. It's sort of just, how do you acquire perceived value in the eyes of others so that they can give you their money and attention? That's it. That's it. Like, yet we all wanna, you know what you're doing. You figured out how to do this thing that people created. Therefore, you're better than other people. according to the standard traditional societal norms, Boogie's better than most people. He's made money and he's succeeded, at least at a time. Watching this video, should we be angry at Boogie or should we just be angry at humanity? Because this is a human. And we are all humans surrounding this human, giving him our attention. What does that say about... Yeah. What do you think I'm doing?
I think covert narcissism is the right phrase. Like, oh, look at how pathetic I am. You should feel sorry for me. You would never be mean to me because I'm so pathetic, right? Oh, I'm so fat. I'm so weird. I'm so goofy. I'm such an old man.
I grew up in an abusive family and an abusive home. The amount of pain that's in my head and my heart is...
So vulnerable narcissism has a number of characteristics. A person can be considered a vulnerable narcissist without having them all. So with vulnerable narcissism or covert narcissism, we see pessimism.
I feel defeated and confused and lost all the time, every day.
Hypersensitivity to criticism.
I can't handle this kind of hate. I can't handle these types of attacks. I can't do it.
Reactive anger, so they're not really thinking things through.
Is this what I have to do?
Who goes by Boogie2988 was booked into the jail this morning.
Need for admiration.
Can I get a round of applause?
The self-centeredness.
I'm the perfect victim. I have been victimized my entire life.
The sense of entitlement.
You guys want to help me pay for my Tesla? Please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a free fucking Tesla.
Believing oneself to be special.
How many kids went on to get 4.5 million YouTube subscribers?
One.
Steven Williams!
What did I say? Whose fault is this? Like, that right there was his reaffirmation of his mindset, because it's been reaffirmed to him in the tangible environment. He's making money, he has a following, people are listening to him, yet this is who he is. Did he suddenly change? Has he always been this way? Do you just develop covert narcissism? Whose fault is this? Like, we're all kind of culpable. I don't know. It's kind of like a relationship, right? Did you know? You can't know when going into it. But while you're going through it, the more time that you spend associated to this, the less sympathy that you get. Especially the more that you get screwed, right? The more check marks, right, of bad crap that people do to each other that you can acknowledge. Yet, I mean, clearly it's affected his... He's got a documentary on him that's retaining his... there's clearly been ramifications for his decisions. But, like, what does it say about everything and everyone if he got there in the first place? If he got to a place in which we've all supported and agreed with the things that he does. This isn't a warlord. I'm not trying to make it sound super dramatic. There's just some guy it's just a rando on YouTube. He made a lot of money. That's it. Who succeeded in his career with an internet personality crap. Like, this is just humans.
Recommend to him now to get his viewers back.
I don't think he's getting his viewers back. I don't think that's a possibility. I think the only thing to do now is go a different angle. But I don't even know if that's possible. I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but how do you change yourself? Like, viewers are smart. Like, they want to see you. They want to see what you're interested in.
Viewers are naive. Like, again, did he develop covert narcissism throughout his duration as the Boogie? Did it just suddenly occur? And people were like, something, oh. Like, how do you think it works for, like, abusive relationships? Despite all these glaring issues, people still... Now, like, he's still making $3,000 a month, right? Like, he's done the damage from what it used to be, but the point is, like, if he just changed, like, his downfall is entirely his own, but if he were to change things, even just slightly, he'll be... Like, he's gone down the rabbit hole, so that realistically, that change is probably never going to happen. Point is, say if randomly he woke up one day, all right, no more boogieing. He just, like, changes things. Okay, he could, like, he could still come back and people would still support him. People still are technically supporting. They're still tuning in and listening to him if he's making $3 grand off of YouTube. That's... I don't... Like, people aren't as sharp and clever as you. Like, people, if you present something to someone that makes them feel a certain way, makes them feel an emotion that they react positive to, that they interpret in a positive fashion, right? They're gonna... That's all it takes. You just sell. Like, doesn't matter the quality of the thing you're selling, doesn't matter anything. Just time, place, where, when, who. That's it. Like, if the audience members were as smart as this guy's presuming, then why did this go on for so long? Why does this guy make so much money? Why did he reach almost 5 million? I don't know. Like, they just want to ignore that. Does framing it the other way make you seem like Boogie needs people to get him to where he is so that you know him as the Boogie? Without that, there's nothing. So who's more responsible for that? Yeah.